My name is Lindsay Jensen, and I'm here today interviewing Ms. Kathy Cooper. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
You served in the U.S. Army
Yes.
from 1988?
1988 to 2010.
Wonderful. You're busy. You make me feel lazy. Let's begin by starting about your childhood a little bit.
My childhood. Actually, I don't know, I guess it's every child's dream or something like that, but I always wanted to be an actress.
Yeah?
I don't know why, but I always wanted to be an actress. I started taking piano at the age of 5.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wow.
and so I was playing the piano all the way up until my senior year in high school. And I also taught piano lessons, and then I played for the church also. But then after I graduated out of high school, I guess I lost my interest for it and everything. So
Right.
I still can like dibble-dabble a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
not as good as I was back then. And now sometimes I kind of regret that I didn't continue to push myself further.
I know. I played the piano too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I know exactly what you're talking
Uh-huh.
about. I stopped in like 10th grade
Uh-huh.
in high school, and yeah, I can still play a couple tunes, but I wish I had kept on with it. Cause
And then I could remember every morning I had to get up at least 45 minutes prior to my actual getting up time
Yeah.
to practice. My mother used to make me practice every morning.
wow,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah.
So your parents kind of drove that.
Actually, it was my
Yeah.
mother.
Your
Yeah,
mother.
my mother. Then both of my sons, both of them ended up taking piano lessons.
That's funny. It all comes back around, doesn't
Yeah.
it? That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Where'd you go to high school?
I graduated from Berkeley High School,
Okay.
right there in Muscle.
Perfect. How did you decide to go into the Army?
Okay,
Was that
actually, I went to school for college for a year and a half.
okay?
And then I came out of college, I think about 3 months later,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided, I wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
And so, and then I didn't want to actually stay in the area, anything like that, so I said, I told my mom, I said, no, I'm going to enlist in the Army. And I told her and my dad, I was going to enlist in the Army.
What they
You
had
know.
to say about that?
It was, they weren't all that thrilled, but,
Right.
they supported me.
Oh, that's good.
And so I enlisted.
What was basic training like?
Basic training, I'll tell you. That day when we got off the bus, the drill sergeant started yelling at us and everything. And I went to basic training at Fort Jackson.
Okay.
And so drill sergeant got off the bus, came on the bus, and they started yelling at us and everything. Going, get off the bus, Private, get off the bus. And so we had to get off the bus, and then we had our luggage. I had this big suitcase with all
Right.
my stuff in there, and so I had the suitcase plus I had a duffel bag. The stuff I had issued,
Right.
from the MEP station, and so we all had to get off the bus and get in formation, and we didn't do it right. I know we at least did it about 3 or 4 times. We had to go up a hill
Oh my goodness.
for the formation. So if everybody wasn't up there in time, they sent us all back down with our gear in our hand. So I think we did that about 2 or 3 times. And so then finally we marched over to the barracks area. And then, then we had to go up some stairs because our barracks was we were on the 3rd floor. And so we had to go up the stairs with all that gear. And you wouldn't believe it. Somehow our suitcase opened up. And everything just went out of my suitcase. And so, of course I got yelled at.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, but it was, I guess, back in those days, the drill sergeant, they can get in your face and they can yell at
Right.
you and whatever, but, then as time progressed and everything, I know the recruits had these little stress cards that they pull out. So, the drill sergeant was stressing them out or whatever. They just, I guess, pull out this little stress card.
Oh, that's
on
nice.
them. Yeah, but we didn't have that.
Nice.
Back then.
Yeah.
Drill sergeants were in your face.
Right. Oh, I'm sure.
But the training wasn't that difficult. It wasn't really that difficult. It's just, like learning and stuff. And,
Right.
And then we had, the physical training. That's where I had to really, gear myself up for the physical training part. But, it wasn't really that bad. It wasn't really that bad. It was 8 weeks. It was like 8 weeks, yeah.
You have to forgive me. I am kind of ignorant in the way of the military.
Mm-hmm.
But, so what branch of the Army
Okay,
were you in?
you talking about, well, I was in the Quartermaster Corps.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was dealing with supply and services.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned you went to Panama.
Yeah, Panama. I was over in Panama for 2 years. Well, I'll start off. My first duty assignment was career. I was there for a year. And then I went to Fort Stewart, Georgia, and that is about 2 hours and a half, 2 hours and 45 minutes from here.
Okay.
And I was there for 3 years, and then I went to Panama for 2 years, and came back to Fort Stewart for another 3 years, and then I went to career again. So that was another year tour at career. And let me see, that second time I went to career, after I left there, I went to, where did I go? Fort Hood, Texas. And so I was at Fort Hood for 2 years. And then I left Fort Hood, back to career again for another year. And for some reason, they must have thought I loved Fort Stewart because they sent me back to Fort Stewart again for another 3 years. Yeah. And then when I left Fort Stewart, matter of fact, both times, the first time I was at Fort Stewart, I deployed to Saudi Arabia, Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Right.
And then the second time I was there, I deployed, I think it was OIF. I think it was 3. I'm not sure which number it was, but it was in 2005, 2006 when I went to Iraq. And then once we came back from Iraq, I think I stayed through Fort Stewart maybe about 3 or 4 months, and then I PCS transferred over to Fort Lee, Virginia, and that's Fort Lee is a training post.
Okay.
And so there, I started off as an instructor for the Basic Non-Commissioned Officer Corps, and then I ended up being the branch chief over the Basic Non-Commissioned Officer Corps. And after that, after I left Fort Lee, I went to Fort Bliss, Texas, which is in El Paso. Okay. Yeah, but once I got there, I was at 19, I believe I was 19, close to 20 years in. Yeah, and so I said, when I get to Fort Bliss, that's going to be it. But once I got to Fort Bliss, I got there, and I found out where I was going in. They were deployed. I got there in March, and we deployed in May.
Oh, wow.
And so all my stuff, household goods and stuff like that, I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it, yeah. So we deployed in May, went over to Iraq for a year. And when I was over there, I said, this is it. I mean, because I was at 23 years in, I was like, this is it. So I came back. 4 months later, I was tired. I was gone.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You certainly put in your time, in my opinion. Let me see. What would a basic day be like overseas for you? What would your tasks be?
Overseas, a basic day is basically getting up it's different. Each post varies with physical training, but I would say between 5:30 and 6 getting up for physical training, and that's like an hour. Mm-hmm. And so after that, you come back, shower, get dressed, go eat breakfast, and then you report to work, or if you have a formation or something like that. And so typically a work day is from 9. For some, it's from 9 to 5.
Right.
The more rank you get, the longer your hours go. Yeah, so
of course.
Yeah. And I found myself as I started moving up the ranks and everything. I found myself a lot of my lunch breaks used to be sitting at the desk eating and trying to work at the same time. In the afternoons, 5 o'clock, something like 5 o'clock or something like that. Most of the time, that's when I'm actually actually sitting down at my desk from, running around all day or in this meeting or,
Right.
something, That's why I find myself actually sitting down at the desk starting to do things. And then you might have to see the commander or the first sergeant, so, that drags on. So typically, sometimes your day might be over about 6:37, yeah.
That's a long day.
But I live for Fridays, though.
Yeah. What were Fridays? Just Fridays were days off? Or?
No, Fridays were, that was the weekend.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
that was the weekend.
Good.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Fridays
We
were
work long, and then Fridays come.
good. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Were there a lot of other women stationed with you in Panama, and were there a good many?
Yeah, in Panama, yeah, I would say that's a good bit. Versus career, like the first time I was in career, I was stationed over in, I was on a second ID, second infantry division.
Okay.
So mostly it was male populated in
Right.
the second infantry division. But Panama, it's a great deal of women over there. Mhm.
What about Saudi Arabia?
Saudi, same.
Same?
Yeah.
In Iraq?
Yeah, because, when we deploy over there, most of the whole unit, or maybe the whole brigade, deploys.
I gotcha. Okay. Very good.
But actually, the first time we deployed, I was with the 24th Infantry Division, the whole division deployed.
Oh, okay.
So the whole post was practically almost shut down.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Was it ever difficult being a woman, do you think, in your post? Were you ever prejudiced against?
Yeah, because, sometimes, I can say everybody is different,
Right.
Everybody's body is different. So, there are times where, you might have a male soldier might think, well, if I can do this, you should be able to do this too,
Right.
equal.
And
Yeah.
sometimes that's just, yeah, that just can't happen. Believe me, I work out with my boyfriend all the time.
But I can say I did have a friend back in Fort Stewart. She was a mechanic.
Yes.
And I will tell you, she outdid the males
Awesome.
when it came to fixing the trucks and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. You go, girl. Any experiences from any of your deployments that stand out? Good, bad?
Yeah, well, back in Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, back in Saudi Arabia.
Did you interact with a lot of the native people of the countries? Did you ever get to go out and experience that their society?
Actually, I think when I was in Iraq, when I was deployed to Iraq, both times, I had to deal with them because with the Iraqis, basically when it came to because I had to purchase supplies and stuff like that. So,
Right.
and a lot of the vendors are, outside vendors.
Right.
And so, you had to deal with them on that basis. But not really. I know the last time I was deployed, we did go to the Iraqi army bases, if I'm saying this right. I went to 2 of them. And it was real nice. They were real nice and everything. They toured us around their posts and everything, and then they actually served us a meal,
Oh, wow.
It was real nice. It was different.
Yeah.
It was good, though, but it was different,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's got a kick to it. Now, you mentioned 2 sons.
Uh-huh.
Did you stay in touch with them while you were touring? Did they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good.
Matter of fact, my oldest son, he is in the Army National Guard.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And that was phone calls, letters?
Yeah.
just-
And now, the great way of email.
Exactly. I know. Can Skype too.
Yeah.
That's great. It's fantastic. So one of them's grown. How old is the other one?
Matter of fact, my oldest one, he'll be 25 next month, and then my youngest is 16.
And he's in high school and...
Yes, actually, he goes to Camden Military.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know if he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna go that military route. Because he
route.
did ask me one time. He said, "Do I have to follow the tradition?" Because I went into the military, and then my oldest son, he's in the national. I said, he asked me. He said, "Do I have to follow the tradition?" I said, "What tradition?" He's like, "Well, you and Brandon. No, you do what you want."
That's funny. Wants to be in the club. Did so none of your parents were in the military?
My father, he was in maybe about a year or two.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was way back. Yeah.
Did you ever feel any stress or pressure while you were serving? Just like...
Yes, every day.
Every day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty
every
much
day.
what the Army is, huh?
Because, I can tell you can sit there. You can sit there and you can plan your day out and write, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that.
I'm sure that
It won't happen.
No.
Because everything changes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
And then you have these deadlines and everything that you have to meet and everything.
I can just imagine that every day is just something new and different. Overseas, what were the weekends like? How did people entertain themselves?
I would say, basically it's just like here, but overseas, when you're overseas, it's like people are family over there.
Right.
And so,
right.
everybody is away from home, so, a lot of times maybe people might, barbecue or something like that outside the barracks.
Right.
Or, like people might get together, go out or, go to the movies, or like in Korea we used to go down to Yonsong because that's where they had the nice shopping areas there. Yeah. And so, we'll go down there and shop or whatever, have something to eat, It's almost like a family.
Yeah. You get real close, I'm sure, in those situations. Did you ever see any visible changes to the countries you were stationed in, like while there was action going on, where you let go?
Changes
or government change. Did you ever see like an impact of what the Army was doing?
Oh, I would say definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Because especially like over in Korea, I noticed, just like I've been over there 3 times, and every time, I go back over there, I see, those changes, especially like with the Korean Army, I see there's changes, for the battle. Every time I go back over, I see a difference, change.
Awesome. Did you ever not get along with a commanding officer?
Because as a supply person, one of my jobs as a supply sergeant, I was working for the commander. So
So what were all your tasks as a supply?
As a supply sergeant, keeping accountability of property, such as the organizational property, vehicles, computers, you name it.
Yeah.
Anything is in there, you name it. So, you have your organizational property, then you have your installation property, which, say your barracks. All the furniture in the barracks, you got weight room, laundry room, all that stuff like that. And to keep accountability of all that stuff. And to know where it was at,
Jeez.
Yeah. But there was always, I had to keep it signed down. So someone else had to be responsible for it. But my job was to make sure that property was signed down to the individual person, But I think the biggest supply job I had was when I was in Korea. I had, my commander, I think she was just a little bit on the nervous side when she took command because of the past commander's experience, and she had me sign for the arms room, which was all the weapons.
Oh my goodness.
I had the NBC room, which your nuclear, your mask and your all that equipment. I had that. I had my own hand receipt, which was the supply room,
Right.
equipment and stuff.
Right.
She also wanted me to sign for the ammunition holding area, which all the ammunition was in there. I had to keep accountability, all that. Then I had a brand new barracks. I think the barracks made about 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
4 floors. Everything in there. Plus it had a weight room, then it had the laundry room, and it had a little break room, with the television stuff. So all that stuff. But see, I had the original hand receipt, for the arms room and the NBC room and the ammunition holding area. I had somebody else actually. I signed that down too.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
But the good thing about it is, when I left there, the only thing that was missing was a pair of protective pants, which was maybe about $25. And which my NBC guy, was, he's the one who was actually missing it. But I can't remember what happened, how the charges or whatever like that. But that was the only thing out of all that stuff.
That's amazing.
Yes. That's the only thing that was missing.
You're obviously.
I mean, it could be a headache.
Yeah.
Because when you get new stuff in and everything, as soon as you get that in, inventory and stuff, you got to get it to the user. Yeah. You just can't let it sit there.
Right. I can't. It's just crazy. So, where do you think, out of all your deployments, where do you think it was the most violent?
The most violent? I would have to say, Saudi Arabia, because Iraq, I didn't really see anything, but we had a lot of, what would you call it? Not air attacks, but I'm the brain cramp.
Air raids?
Yeah, the missiles would come down. We had one area on our FOB that was bombed just about every day. And I will tell you I'll never forget this. I went to the little PX we had one day. I went over there. Matter of fact, I know what it was now. I went over there, and they had just opened up Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh my gosh! And I kept thinking, I want to be a piece of chicken.
I don't blame you.
And so that particular day, it was the first day they opened up, and I looked over. There was a long line.
Right, of course.
And I said, I'm not going to stand in this line. And I looked over at Burger King, right, and I said, one person in line. So I went over to Burger King. After I left out of PX, I went over to Burger King, and so I went to Burger King, and by the time I got finished, maybe about 5-10 minutes later, the little bus shuttle came, and I got on the shuttle. And so then when they got back around to our area, and I got off the bus, next thing I heard was a boom. And I looked back, and all you could see was black smoke. And so I went over to our oiler room, right, because I wanted to listen to what was going on the radio, and it was over there at the PX area, right there where we were at.
Oh my.
Yes. And I said, oh my God. And if I would have stood in that line for Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'm like, oh my God. But luckily, no one was hurt that day.
Really?
No one was hurt that day. No one was hurt.
Yeah, that's terrifying though. That really is.
I just looked back and I was like, it looked like the PX area. And when I went over to the operations room to hear what's going on, it was. And I was like, oh my God. But every day.
Yeah.
Every day, some areas getting bombed.
Yeah. But that wasn't as prevalent in Iraq. The air raids, they weren't as prevalent in Iraq.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you were talking about Iraq.
Yeah, it's not air raids. I have a brain cramp, so I can't think of the right term.
I'm glad you corrected me back.
Yeah.
So do you keep in touch with anyone that you've served with?
Yeah, basically on Facebook, I've befriended a lot of people. Yeah, I'm not a Facebook person, but yeah, I've befriended a lot of people on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about it. One of my soldiers from Fort Stewart back in 2004, just sent me a request on Facebook. I was like, oh my gosh.
Time flies, huh?
Yeah, but I've had a couple of soldiers that have either tried to email me through an Army account or through Facebook.
That's wonderful. Do you think your military experience has affected your outlook on life?
No, because I tell a lot of people, you know, if I had to do it all again,
you would do it. That's very admirable. So tell me about what you're doing now. You're working at the VA.
Okay, yes, I'm working over at the VA, the Veterans Hospital. I'm actually working as a medical support clerk, in which, you know, we schedule appointments, make appointments, just stuff like that. Basically, not a receptionist, but, you know, on that line. Yeah, a lot of that stuff on that line. Yeah.
Do a lot of stuff, I'm sure. And you said you were taking classes as well.
Oh, yeah. Right now, I have 4 classes left until I get my master's in business administration. Yeah. So once I went into the Army, I had like a year, close to 2 years of college. So I started off with when I got in the Army, I got my associate's degree, and then I went on and I got my bachelor's. So now my master's.
Where'd you go to college?
I got my associate's from Central Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's actually based out of Killeen, Texas. And then I got my bachelor's and now my master's I'm working on from Excelsior College. It used to be called Regents College in New York.
Oh, okay, yeah. What took you to Texas? That's a long way from...
No. Now, you know, a lot of colleges are on military bases. They have those small branches on military bases. But Central Texas is right in Killeen, where Fort Hood is at.
Perfect. Gotcha. Very cool. What are you going to do with your MBA?
Hopefully, I can get a job basically on, you know, the business administration side of the house, you know. Yeah. Right now, I'm working over at the hospital. You know, I got my foot in the door, so hopefully I can, you know, move up. Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you want to talk about that I haven't asked? Any memory that stands out in your mind?
I can't think of nothing right now. But, you know, I love the Army. You know what I can say? Sometimes I think about it, you know, I say, oh God, I miss the Army. You know, some things you miss about it, and then some things you don't miss about it, you know. But, yeah. I can say, you know, I miss well.
Do you feel, when you retired, was it weird coming out of a strict schedule, or did you adjust?
No, I adjust because I can say, like, right now, I still get up. You know, I'm not like some people. You know, they wait till the last minute to get up. You know,
right.
With me, I set my clock at 5 o'clock, and actually, I don't get up to 5:30, but I let it kind of like snooze until 5. Because one thing I found out, I think about midway through the Army, maybe when I started getting older or whatever, I noticed that, you know, when my clock, I used to be able to, when my clock rang, jump
up.
But then I noticed as the years went by, I had to start setting it 30 minutes back. And so that it snooze up until the time I actually wanted to get up. And so, you know what, I still do that.
Yeah.
And see, like, you know, like a lot of people, like I noticed at work now, a lot of people, you can see them speeding in the gate, trying to get in, get a parking space, and no, it's no parking space at 8 o'clock.
Right.
You know, but me, you know, I'm already there.
You're there and set. Yeah.
It's just something, you know. And I have a lot of people that work still say, you know, you got to calm down. I have one of my coworkers. He calls me Sarge. Because he's like, you know, you still act like you're in the military or something. So he called me Sarge.
It works, though. I mean, that's something that's wonderful. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for this interview.
I appreciate it.